We are taught to be scared. We are taught to be frightened. We are taught to worry. When you go into your big box advisor, they say words, they use jargon, they use terms that scare you. Like this is part of the whole system. When you go onto a news channel, right? News, not even a money channel, but let's talk a news channel, right? The news, like you turn it on and like you can just look away and it just starts raising your stress hormones. And then what's interesting is then they go to commercial and the commercials are like, "Oh, yes, we can take care of you." Like, isn't that interesting? Like, we don't even recognize. And then it goes back to the trauma and the drama. And of course, money shows, money channels are worse. So, hey, everybody, this is RC Peck. And hello to my money badgers. I hope you guys are doing well. This week, we are 8.5 months done with 2019. And I have some stuff that I want to show you and two specific things, and we'll get to it. But first, I want to talk about the image I want to find on here is this. Now, I've had this since the beginning of August, and this just makes my blood boil. So I'm going to read this to you. Dow plunges to historic lows after China devalues its currency. Now, this is by ABC News. Now, I understand we're in 2019 and, I don't know who watches ABC News, probably people over the age of 60. Probably the average viewing age of an ABC News anything is probably 67. Someone could back check me, but it's going to be for sure above 60. Now, this is not the TV show. I don't even know what shows there are because I don't watch TV, but this is by ABC World News or ABC News, right? Stocks dropped 3% on Monday after China allowed its currency, the yuan, drop to its lowest level against the dollar in 10 years. And then you throw in President Trump and you throw in the word tariff. And then I just see all this stuff up here. It's like negative 1.88. So this right here, and then this down here, that's 3%. That's one. Okay, so now I'm confused. Then we have a point drop. So the point drop is here. Then we have a symbol. I guess it's the Dow Jones Index. And then we have the total number. And then we have this just is incredibly confusing, right? And the words scare people. Like, this is pretty scary. And the fact that the people probably looking at this and listening to this, right, are over the age of 60. So what I want to do is I want to bring in the price chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And I want you to put your attention over here. Because over here, can you see my crosshairs upper right? That's the Dow plunges to historic lows. So I don't know what the person was taught. I mean, the person was taught to scare the hell out of you. But I'm looking at this price chart. And what is this price chart? 5 or 6 years? Let me just look here. This is 5.5 years range, 5.5 years of data. And right here, ABC News puts out an image and a post to scare the hell out of you. Well, they're not scaring the hell out of 30-year-olds because they don't even know what ABC News is. But this is where the Dow, it's actually right down. Oh my gosh, it's actually right down here. That's the historic lows. That's a lie. Like that's a full-on lie. There's no historic low at lifetime highs. Now this is the index, guys. I'm not even including dividends reinvested. Right? Because if I did get a tracker and I put it somewhere here, now you see the number there, an ETF that tracks the Dow Jones, including dividends reinvested. That's right there, right? That's right at lifetime highs in 2018 and above the January 2018 lifetime highs. By the way, this is where the tariff war started on January 22nd. And here it's above that. But if people have not been trained, right, they haven't been trained to filter the noise, and they haven't trained their money, and they haven't trained their brain, and they haven't trained their brain to work with their money, then someone's, where'd it go? Hold on. Sorry. Technology. Then they're going to read this and go, oh my God, I got to get out. Oh my God, I got to get out. I got to get out. Honey, we got to get bonds. We got to get bonds. Get us some bonds. And they're going to get hurt. And they are getting hurt. And people are going to continue to get hurt. And that saddens me because they've been taught to be scared. So my next image is from This is from, actually, Data is Beautiful. This is an interesting price chart. Now, I actually think this price chart is a bond. It's not, guys. This is, I think, every country in the world and their lifespan, right? So you can see how when countries go through incredible pain, Cambodia, Timor, I know it's called Timor-Leste. Timor became an independent country 2 or 3 years ago. There's Rwanda, Sierra Leone. So you can see how when you have these Holocaust-like events, that it really hurts it. That was interesting. But look at the world. The world is living longer, right? And the reason I'm showing this to you is because people who live longer, people who live over the age of, people who are over the age of 50, they've been taught that bonds are the secret, that bonds are the savior. And so we have more and more people buying bonds simply because they've been taught that their age determines their allocation. And it's hurting them and has hurt them and will hurt them in the next recession. And we're seeing that just with this huge dump in yields, which means the price spike in bonds, and it's already reversing itself. But I thought this was an interesting way to show the bond market by saying the world is living longer. People have been taught that as you get older, you need something, air quotes, safe, right? You need a safe asset, and bonds were taught to you as the safe asset. But that's not what's going to happen, because I believe bonds are going to be the place where wealth will be destroyed. Now, I have this image because I want you to look at this image. And you don't know these people, right? I don't. But your brain was trained to understand certain things. I look at this and go, okay, maybe they're getting married. Maybe the photo shoot didn't quite go how it was supposed to go, right? They went down to Mexico. He's doing the whole untucked shirt thing, but the photo shoot did not go well. Clearly them standing in salt water her dress looks expensive. Something's wrong, right? You can see that. Like, you don't need to know. You can see his gestures. You can see her gestures. You can see that they're close to the water, near the water, in the water, and you go, something's not going well, right? You wouldn't say to yourself, they're feeling glad. They're feeling happy. They're feeling joy. No, something's gone wrong, because your brain has been trained to know that, and to know that in an instant, right? And that's what I want. I want you to train your brain, right? This does not happen through my research service, by the way. I want you to train your brain just like it's been trained, so you can immediately know, yeah, something's going wrong there. Don't know what it is, don't know the specifics, but something not good. And I want you to train your money, and that happens through training. And I saw this image, I was like, God, this is such a great image, because our brains are naturally trained to go, yep, something not good. Something not good. Because when you're not trained, you end up hurting yourself. And I want to bring in this image right here. Actually, it's a price chart. So this is utilities sector. It's the red line. And the blue line is the S&P 500 with dividends reinvested. And this is basically year to date. So just year to date, utilities are up slightly more than the stock market with dividends. But here's what's crazy. In here with the red line, that's utilities. I had people canceling my research service saying, he can't even pick the lead sector. I want the lead sector. You got to get the lead sector. I'm paying you for the lead sector. Yeah, yes, I am increasing my energy to prove a point, right? And back here, people canceling. I didn't hire him to get a losing sector. Can't even beat the blue line. right? Because in this case, the red line's utilities, the blue line's the S&P 500, because people have been taught that you've got to be beating the market every moment, every second, every day, every week. And what happens is they've been taught to hurt themselves. They've been taught to live a smaller life. They've been taught to create a life that has fewer choices. Because if we go back in time, we can just start to see, like, wait a second, okay. And this site is notorious. There we go. So again, red line utilities. So we can go back to, let's go back to the peak when the last time the market peaked was right around September 20th. Right there, it was right around September, late September. Their utilities are up 24%, the market's up, call it 5. Or we could go back to the beginning of the trade wars. Trade wars, just so you know, started January 22nd. We'll get close to it. That's pretty close to it right there. January 22nd, 2018, trade war started. Utilities are up 32%. Stock market's up 10.5%. So when you're taught to always be in the lead horse every second, every moment, you're taught to live a smaller life. And I get annoyed by people like that. And people like that enter my research service all the time. And I have very little tolerance. And you say, RC, they haven't been taught. But you gotta understand how annoying that is, that because they haven't been trained to have the right perspective. And it's not that they just step away. They dump their pain on you. And you have people like this who do that. They dump their hurt on you. I love this saying, hurting people hurt others. And when people hurt, they have two choices. They can either feel their hurt or they cannot feel it. And if they don't feel it, they end up hurting others. And so that's what happens a lot. And I don't want to be dumped on by anyone. Okay, so then I have one more thing to show you. And this just makes me crazy. So I used to go walking, and he is a friend that I like, but he has one of these watches that announces to him every time an email comes in or a text comes in or something comes in. And as we walk in, look, I could have said to him, it was during his work hour, his work day, and I didn't. But he'd be looking at his freaking phone every 2 minutes because it made a noise. So I saw this image where you can put your I don't even know what the iWatches are called. The Apple Watch, thank you. The Apple Watch. You can put it on your steering wheel. Your steering wheel. This is insane. We are being taught by the largest monopolies the world has ever experienced to check out of our life, right? They are teaching us this. There's literally glasses they are creating to put this crap in our view, in our eyesight. Remember the Google Glass? People called people that wore them glass holes. But this is Apple, right? And Amazon and Facebook and Google. How'd you like that pronunciation? Google. We were taught this. We were taught that we need to know 17 million things. And it affects our lives. Our cortisol levels go up. Our stress goes up. We think we need to go buy bonds because we turned 50, because we were born in 1961. Guys, the stock market doesn't care the year you're born. The reason I like using Money Badger is you got to go watch the Honey Badger video, but Money Badgers don't care about that old stuff. They don't. But you got to get trained to act like a Money Badger. Right? Money Badgers don't care that people hate that the stock market's going up. You know what Money Badgers like? They like stability. They like consistency. They like choices. They like taking control of their life. They like being good stewards of their money. And so I just leave these ideas with you this weekend. Really, the big one is, if you think you're going to be beating something every day or every week or every month or even every quarter, that's not right. I was going to say you're wrong. That sounds bad, but that's wrong. That's wrong thinking. But to get trained so you can see that couple on the beach and go, yeah, something's wrong over there. To get trained to look at an image and go, yep, Yep, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's a difference between being taught and being trained, guys. And it is super important, right? And whether we're looking at utilities and the S&P 500, or you get an image that tells you something plunged and you can literally be trained to be like, is that true? It's about training your brain. It's about training your money. It's about training your brain and your money to work together. I'm so glad you guys are in my world. Thank you for that. This is just another step, another idea, another perspective to help you protect and grow your portfolio, your life, your future, your choices. Thanks, guys. Until next time, this is RC Peck.